Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Good morning. Yes, hello. Happy Sunday. Good morning. Hi, Steffi. Good to see you. Hello from Florida. Hello. Good morning. Yes, we made it. It's Sunday. Woohoo! Or good afternoon. Hello. Come on in, everybody. Good to see you all. Thanks for coming. Yes, thank you so much. I'm glad to be back. I have missed our time together, so I'm very happy to be back. Yes, good morning. Oh, from Maine. Hello. Oregon, Pennsylvania. Oh, good morning. My goodness. Hello, Kristen. Hi. Ooh, Las Vegas. Oh, I bet it's warm in Las Vegas. I'm very jealous. Very jealous of that. We started to see a few snowflakes yesterday. So, West Virginia. Ooh, Lower Michigan. Love it. Indiana. Oh my gosh. Oh, Georgia. Hello. Welcome on in, everybody. Rainy and cold in Pittsburgh. San Antonio. Welcome on in. Well, good to see everybody. Thanks for joining. Yes, this is my fun fall ring I've got going on today. Oh, Ohio, London. Well, good morning. Hello, Arkansas. Yes, there's so many people all around the place. We love that. Hello, Law of the Wild. Good to see you. Welcome. Nope, I just got started, Joe. I just came on. So good timing, good timing. Southern California. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Cece. I appreciate that. Good morning from Texas. Yes, good morning. Hello. Yes, I'm feeling much better. Thank you. Thank you so much. I am doing better. Hello. Oh, Kentucky. Well, welcome on in, everybody. Oh, yes, I do try. Thank you, Professor of Current Politics. I do try to kind of keep everyone up to date on what's going on in the legal world. We have a lot. We've got a lot going on, everybody. So, oh, Ohio and Oregon. Oh, I love that. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Good morning and good afternoon. So, welcome on in, everybody. Hello, Tay. Good morning. Yes, lots of purple going on today. So I wanted to come on this morning and give everybody kind of an update of what's been going on with all of the cases here. So I've got the trial calendar out just to give everyone an idea of what's going on. So I will be back to my regular scheduled time, 7 p.m. Central. And I do plan to go each night this week, so long as everything comes together. So, yes, there's so much going on. You know, I pulled up just the New York docket and looked at cases where he was one of the parties, and he's got over almost 24 cases on the docket with various lawsuits and various things. There's actually a slip and fall case all the way back from 2018 that's still on the docket. So he's busy. He's a busy man. And that was just New York. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot. Does Jack Smith still have sealed indictments? Another creator guessed that new speaker's next. It could be. I'm not sure who he's got, but I have no doubt we will be seeing more indictments coming out very soon. I have no doubt about that. So I think, I think too, we're going to be seeing some action out of Michigan pretty soon, very soon actually, and as well as Arizona. So I think things are going to be coming up for sure. The Colorado 14th Amendment trial starts tomorrow. Oh, I don't have that on my calendar, but I did know it was coming, so I'll have to keep a close eye on that one. I will definitely be doing updates on the Colorado case as it comes through. So, Supreme Court hearing arguments next month on his 14th Amendment. Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot. We've got a lot going on. He had over 4,000 cases. Yes, lots of cases, lots of use of the legal system. Yes, Colorado 14, Section 3. That's a big case. I think in just this morning, I was able to get the live I did on the Colorado petition. I did multiple lives, so it's in multiple pieces, but that one just went up again on YouTube. I will be posting probably twice a day on YouTube to catch up. I'm really far behind everybody, and I apologize for that. But the algorithm is different there, so it's a little odd to post too many times on YouTube, but I'm just going to post it for everybody anyway. I got to just get the content up and going. So for sure, that will be up soon. I will be trying to get everything caught up, but I am a little bit behind on my YouTube account. So yes, it is. It's overusage of the legal system, in my opinion, and that says something as a lawyer to feel that way. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Well, we've got lots of fun things going on, everybody. Yes, I did change my nails. I did. I changed my nails. Things happen. It happens a lot. So frequently the nails do get changed quite a bit, everybody. So hopefully that's okay. So let me give you an update on what's going on. We've got several things that have been added. We are coming down to the very last few days in October. So we have this week, of course, we have the New York civil case continuing on. So let's start there. Just doing an overview here. So last time I was on, people were asking again where to find the documents and the court filings for the New York case. Now, this is the New York civil case. Oh, yes, Lexi, I've got November ready. You bet I do. I certainly do. So if you are looking for any of the documents in the New York civil case, what you'll do is you will go to the New York State Unified Court System website. You will pull up People of the State of New York versus Trump here. Now, you can look at the index number here, so you can screenshot that if you're interested, or you can just look it up this way. But what you need to do is click through until you find the e-courts and then e-file documents. It'll be in the bottom right-hand corner of several of the options. So you want to look for this, and then it'll pull up this huge set of all these different documents. Again, there are over 1,500 documents that have been filed. You can pull them all up, including the most recent sanctions he was given regarding violating the gag order in New York. So all of this information is available to the public. You can pull it up online. If you have questions or you're struggling to find it, feel free to message me and I can point you to a video that's been put together on it. So we do have that up and going. So New York this week is probably going to be the most interesting. Let's flip over here to November. So what we have in New York for the civil case is, so far, the state is planning to call, or the AG's office, planning to call Don Jr. to testify on Wednesday. Eric Trump then is set to testify Thursday, and Ivanka is supposed to be in court on Friday. So that is the schedule. It should be very busy. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to do testimony only in one day for each of these people, because they have so much knowledge on the businesses and the cases. They had very long depositions. There were a lot of questions that were asked, so I'm not sure how they're planning to get one a day. It seems like it would take more time, but that's what is scheduled so far. So again, this can change. So we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, huge amount of testimony. And then Mr. Trump himself is scheduled to come in then on Monday to testify. So that will be a very big testifying day as well. So can they claim the Fifth to not answer? That's a great question. So in order to claim the Fifth Amendment, the right against self-incrimination, you need to actually be in a situation where you could be charged criminally. Now, for each of these people, when it comes to the criminal case that's up and running, they are not involved in that. There is some testimony that may be needed on the hush money case. But when it comes to the taxes in the criminal cases, almost everything has has expired on the statute of limitations, and particularly with Ivanka. So my understanding is that there cannot be any criminal charges pressed against them. Because there cannot be any criminal charges, the Fifth Amendment can't be invoked. The Fifth Amendment, again, is only so you don't incriminate yourself, so you can't be charged criminally. So if there are no criminal charges on the table, then you can't invoke that Fifth Amendment. We'll see how that comes into play as the testimony goes on, but that's something to keep in mind. There has either been agreements made or the statute of limitations have run on criminal cases in New York for all three of them. So for them to try to invoke the Fifth Amendment, they would have to explain to the judge what kind of a criminal situation would be occurring in order to invoke that Fifth Amendment, or else the judge could deny that Fifth Amendment privilege and order them to answer. So it will be a very interesting situation with what's happening here. So the New York civil case is going to be pretty busy this next week. So, and also keep in mind, with the New York civil case, we only have a few weeks left. So we've got weeks left here in November, but technically that civil trial is supposed to end on the 22nd of December, and that includes the defense witnesses. Now, we've talked before about how the state has or the AG's office has their witness list. So let me just show you that real quick. Here is the AG's witness list. Now, they've got Ivanka on here. They also have a couple more defendants on here that are supposed to be coming in. But they've got 28 witnesses set for their case in chief. Can they say they don't recall? Yes, they can. They can. The only thing is, though, when you say you don't recall, is that if you talked about it during your deposition, the attorney can show you your deposition to literally refresh your memory. That's the name of the evidentiary rule that we use. So we would say, Your Honor, maybe approach the witness, go to the witness, show them the deposition, and say, do you remember answering this question during the deposition? Yes. And what was your answer then? And then they need to answer. So we use that as a really important technique when people are trying to not answer questions. What does calling someone as a hostile witness mean? And is to make sure he testifies. Sure. So a hostile witness is a specific evidentiary rule. Actually, let me grab my rules real quick, everybody, and I'll show you real quick what it means. So technically, all of the witnesses called in for this week would be seen as hostile witnesses. So what happens when we have a hostile witness, let me pull up the rule here, is that we have different ways that we can ask questions. So just one moment. I've got a new copy of my rules, so I'm trying to get used to it. So when we look to the federal rules of evidence, here's all of our different ways that things are supposed to go. We have to have our witnesses. We have rules for that. We have opinions, expert testimony, rules for that as well. And then we also have a particular order that we're supposed to present our evidence in. Now, the reason this is important is because the kinds of questions that we get to ask on direct as well as cross-examination are set out by the rules. So, So in here, we have Rule 602, which is the need for personal knowledge. So we need to make sure everyone has their own personal knowledge. That's the first rule that we look to. But when it comes to impeaching witnesses, impeaching means questioning their credibility. That's under Rule 607. So any party, including the party that called the witness, may attack the witness's credibility. Here, the key is if we've got a situation where we have our own witness calling in, we would ask them direct questions, which means open-ended questions. We're asking for a narrative, essentially an answer, an open-ended question. But on cross-examination, we can ask leading questions. If we have a hostile witness, that means we are allowed to ask leading questions. So the court should exercise reasonable control over the mode and order of examining witnesses and presenting evidence so as to make everything go smoothly. This is Rule 611. Now, under subsection B, the scope of cross-examination. Cross-examination should not go beyond the subject matter of direct examination and matters affecting witnesses' credibility. What we're looking at here are leading questions. Leading questions should not be used on direct examination except as necessary to develop the witness's testimony. Ordinarily, the court should allow leading questions on cross-examination and when a party calls a hostile witness, an adverse party, or a witness identified with an adverse party. So this is the key. This is the rule that allows us to call witnesses in and say, Your Honor, we'd like to have them declared a hostile witness, meaning they don't like us. They don't want to answer our questions. They don't want to. Law of the wild. Did you guess the rule? Good for you. 611C2. Good job. So if we pull someone in who doesn't want to answer, we can ask them to be labeled as a hostile witness. Once they get the label, and this is our own witness, all right? Our own witnesses are declared hostile. Then we can ask questions that are leading. So cross-examination questions we can ask rather than direct questions, which have to be open-ended. This means we can lead them through the testimony and push them into a place where they will have to give us the answers that we're asking. So a leading question would be, were you present on October 2nd and signed the document? Yes. Did you know that the information was fraudulent? No. So yes or no questions would be leading questions. Meanwhile, a direct question would be, can you explain to me what happened on October 2nd? And then that asks for a narrative. So they would go through what happened during that particular meeting. But the leading questions are, were you at the meeting? What did you do at the meeting? Did you sign the document? Did you understand the document? Did you use the procedures? Those are all leading questions and can only be used for hostile witnesses unless you're doing a cross-examination on a regular witness. All right? So that's probably more information than you needed, but there you go. Hostile witnesses are going to play a huge role for the entire week because they do not like the AG. They do not want to testify. So they're going to have to be able to frame their questions in a way to force the answers that they need to get into the record. Don't quiz us later. I promise I won't. I promise. Oh my goodness. What's keeping them from putting... Right. So again, in civil court, we don't have jail on the table. So this is the civil case. We've got a few more witnesses left for the state, and then we've got the defense. Now, the defense has set out their witness list, and included in that are multiple experts and multiple other people. So... let me see here. I have their witness list, but it's not in my folder at the moment, so I won't take the time to go through it. But they do have their witnesses as well. So the state will be finishing up their case pretty soon. I would assume that Mr. Trump will be one of their last witnesses to testify, and then defense gets to put on their case. Are they going to be televised? The civil case, no, will not be televised. Do you know family law pretty well? I do okay. That's not an area that I practice anymore. I feel like they'll be dragging this out for as long as possible. It seems like that, Suze. I think the state has gone pretty quick setting up their witnesses, but, we've got almost like 12 expert witnesses that the defense is planning to call. So it will be really up to Judge Engeron to kind of keep everybody in check And he's already demonstrated that he's willing to say, like, that's enough, we don't need that, that's irrelevant when doing cross-examination. So if he keeps on schedule and keeps doing what he has been doing, then the trial should be up and running. So we will see. Did Trump violate the gag order again? It's possible. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, so that's the update on the New York civil case, everybody. So that'll be pretty big this next week. Now, we also have the New York criminal case is still going on, of course. So we've got that indictment. This is the hush money case that has been on track. We did have a motion to dismiss that was filed by Trump just a couple weeks ago. But right now we've got a hearing on it. What I want to bring up on the criminal case is that it will actually come in on a hearing at the turn of the year. So on January 4th is when we'll have our first hearing. Now, I do not know if that criminal hearing will be televised or not. I know in our civil case, the judge has said no cameras in court, but the criminal hearing may be televised. It's possible. So that's in a few weeks. We will see. I know a few weeks is January, but that is scheduled. I think it's really important to note this New York criminal case is scheduled to go to trial. We have a March 25th trial date for the New York criminal case. So, keep that in mind. We've got a lot of cases going on. DC scheduled for the 4th. So that's technically the first case that's supposed to hit court. But, this New York criminal case, we haven't heard a lot about, but it's still on the docket and it is set for the 25th of March. So that's the update on the criminal case. We don't have any decisions on that motion to dismiss. We do have the motion to dismiss hearing scheduled for January 4th. So yes, this is the hush money case where the documents were not signed correctly. They were not processed correctly. So lots of those kinds of issues have been going on. So that's the update out of New York, everybody. Now let's get into which case is this one? Okay, here's DC. So yes, I will hit Georgia here in just a few minutes. So I'll take you through each one of these quick overviews, everybody. We've got the DC case right now. This is the conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. This is the DC case. We only have one defendant listed. So we've had a lot of action going on in the DC case recently because Mr. Trump had filed multiple motions to dismiss, along with motions to strike certain information out of the indictment. So there were about 4 or 5 motions filed all in one big batch. Now, yesterday, I went through the government's response to those motions on a live, so I should have that up pretty soon on YouTube. But those responses came in yesterday that I went through. They have already been filed in court. So the most recent updates then, which I will be going through here, we've got a reply brief from Mr. Trump supporting his motion to dismiss the indictment based on presidential immunity. So he's coming back again with the same arguments, the Fitzgerald versus Nixon arguments, the presidential immunity, the absolute immunity from any prosecution. He's coming back again. A lot of this has been cut and pasted from other cases that he's filed, including some of the same language he filed in the Colorado case. So this was filed, and then he also filed this notice and objection to unauthorized deletions of classified information, which is just, ridiculous. It's another ridiculous motion here that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So these are the most recent filings that he had. There is one more that he filed just yesterday, but I've not read through that one yet. So that's what's going on in the DC case as far as motions go. But if we look at the calendar, we have, so the reply was due on Wednesday, and he filed it actually just yesterday. So there was a reply that was needed to be done for the gag order. We also have the motion to dismiss. The opposition for the motion to dismiss by the government is due on Monday. I think we'll probably, on Monday the 6th, we'll probably see that filed before the 6th. We also have DC motions due on the 9th as well. So for the next 2 weeks, we've got motions and briefs that are supposed to be filed. And then the following week, we have responses. So remember, the order for motions is you file the motion, then there's a response from the other side, then there's a reply from the original party filing the motion. All right, so for each motion, there are actually 3 different sets of filings. The original motion, the response, and then the reply. So just to kind of keep in mind, so no matter what is going on, we're going to have at least 3 sets of documents, and then typically the judge will set it for a hearing. So just to remind you here, we have the party files the motion, and then we have the other side files the response, and then the original party then files the reply. All right, so if the defendant files the motion, the plaintiff files the response, and then the defendant files a reply. So that's why we've got all of these different motions and various things that are due here. And we don't have anything set for a hearing yet, so we may still have a hearing set for any of these motions that have been filed. The motions to dismiss, the responses, and so on. We are still waiting to hear on the gag order reply briefs. So those are also due. And the court will maybe set it for another hearing. I'm not sure. I did go through the amicus curiae brief also as well. So the ACLU did file an amicus curiae brief on the First Amendment regarding that. So that's the update on the DC case. All right. So there we go. I'm thinking I probably will. I've been slowly making it through the Georgia indictment, rereading it again. It takes quite a bit of time actually to read through the documents, but I've been thinking about doing just a designated live to read through the indictment and go through the updates. So I may put that together. What about the DC gag order appeal? We don't have that docketed yet. It's not docketed yet. It's being briefed right now, and then I think we'll get a date on when it's going to be set. On that. So she has briefs for the stay, and then the appeal itself has not been set in the appellate court, if that makes sense to everybody. Is it normal for a judge to answer the motion at the hearing or after? It depends on the judge and on the situation. A judge can answer the motion. It can be at the hearing, at the end of a hearing, and they can follow it up with an order as well. I mean, it really just depends on what's going on. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Absolutely. Yes, we'll find out. Again, the gag order has been appealed, so we're waiting on the appellate court to take up that appeal and review it. There are briefs, though, that can be submitted yet to Judge Chutkan regarding staying the appeal. So we've got questions on that. Will Ivanka hurt her dad's case in New York? I don't think so. I don't think she will. I think we all have a pretty good idea what she'll testify to. She testified already. She's gotten depositions that have already been done. So I don't think she's going to give any information that either party doesn't know, that it's going to be landmark new information. I think we all have a pretty good idea of what she'll testify to. So, but I mean, I guess you never know. You never know, but I don't think she'll have anything that will be groundbreaking. Remind everyone on the 14th Amendment starts tomorrow. Yes, Katrina. So, we've got a case out of Colorado right now. And the thing about the 14th Amendment is it will be a hearing for oral arguments at this point. That's what they're arguing at this point, the petition. So we're not going to have a full blown case like we would have a criminal case here. That's one thing to keep in mind. I'm not sure exactly what format they're going to use in Colorado. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go down, but I do hear it's supposed to start tomorrow. I will be back with more information on that and following that up for sure. But I don't have confirmation on how the hearing's going to be going down on that. Arguments on Thursday, November 2nd. Really? Oh, well, let's put that on the calendar. So we've got a Minnesota 14th Amendment case, oral arguments. So the 14th Amendment case, in my opinion, in Minnesota is not as strong as the case in Colorado, but also a very interesting case. So thank you for sharing that. I will be coming back to go through the Colorado hearing and so on once we get more information on that. So I just don't have it at the moment. A gag order violation soon, probably. Any more planned lives with you and Hawk? Well, at this point, we don't have any firm dates, but we're definitely going to be doing some more together. Absolutely, we will. Don't have formal legal... Yeah, who helps them with orders and decisions. I don't know any judges that don't have any kind of... You cannot be a judge without having a law degree. You have to have a law degree. You have to be licensed, even for magistrates. I don't know of anywhere that doesn't have that minimal level of requirement. You have to be a lawyer in order to become a judge, even for the lowest levels. Now, if I'm wrong... If someone's got evidence to the contrary, if you have an example of somewhere where a judge doesn't have to be a lawyer first, please share that information with me. Oh yes, even elected judges, absolutely. Anybody who wants to be a judge has to be a lawyer first. They have to have typically a law license, although I'm not sure exactly how that works in each state, but you need to have a law degree, and that's how you can even be put into the running for it. But again, if for some reason there is an exception somewhere, please do let me know. Did I figure out the split screen? It's on my to-do list for sure. That makes me feel better. Yeah, I agree. Our process, even for elected judges, is you've got to have a law degree. That's how you even get put into the running here. So a basic understanding, yes. Would I ever want to be a judge? No, thanks. Nope, thank you. Nope, I put my time in. I'm good to go. All right, so that was the DC update. Speaking of Miss Cannon, Judge Cannon here, we've got Florida as well. We don't have much of an update on Florida. We have, again, our 3 defendants. The most recent thing that happened were the Garcia hearings, which were the conflict of interest hearings that were going on. There was some question about whether the attorneys for De Oliveira and Nada, those attorneys had represented different witnesses, different people in the grand jury questions and indictments. And so there was a question about a conflict of interest. I believe both defendants have waived any conflict, which is fine to do, which is no problem. We're just surviving down here in Florida. Oh, Lexi, hang in there. Hang in there. I know. It's not easy. It's not easy. But they've both waived any conflicts. Now, there was an interesting question that I had asked. So we had a weird situation occur here because we had the Garcia hearing set in Florida for the 12th. And what happened was we had De Oliveira's hearing, but then after that, when Nada's hearing was up to go, Judge Cannon was frustrated, upset for some reason. I've kind of already gone into that a little bit, but she was basically saying that the government was bringing in issues that hadn't been briefed, which is what a hearing is for, so it was odd. So she canceled it. She canceled the Garcia hearing for Nada. Now, it was held later, and of course, Nada now and De Oliveira both have said, we have no problems with the conflicts, it's fine. But after the Garcia hearings were supposed to have been held, both of them, even though only one was held, there was supposed to be another hearing, a meeting with the press regarding whether or not different people could be involved in the case regarding First Amendment freedom of the press issues. That hearing was supposed to have happened after the Garcia hearings, but because she dismissed that second hearing, called it off, I'm not sure if she forgot about this last hearing or she didn't want to deal with it. So she did not hold that next hearing or the next meeting that she had scheduled on her docket. The press came back and said, hey, we're supposed to have a hearing and you didn't have a hearing. So she filed saying, well, your question's moot now because, the day has passed. So we're not going to do that. In other words, she is incredibly inexperienced, and her orders are really reflective of that. I'm not sure what the press will do. She was busy at a Trump rally. I don't know about that, but definitely some of those kind of very green judges, very new young judges that aren't familiar with the process. This was a clear mistake that she made because she got so worked up over not holding that second hearing. She forgot about what was on her docket, or she didn't want to deal with it. So that was supposed to have been set. She kind of screwed that up, in my opinion, and so she dismissed it. We will see if they come back in. We'll see if they come back in and ask for the same kind of access again. Nothing's been filed yet, so we will have to see. We will have to see. We'll have to see how long. I don't know. Until you have a real significant screw up, there's not going to be much for grounds to ask her to recuse herself. We will see what happens, though. Can judges overrule her? That's a great question, and people have been asking that a lot. And, what's so interesting is, we have at our judicial system, at our federal courts, right? We have the trial court, that's where she's at. And then we have the appellate court here, which is the 11th Circuit in Florida. So the appellate court's here, right? And then at the very top is going to be SCOTUS. So what happens is if she screws up here, you appeal it to the Court of Appeals of the 11th Circuit. And then if you feel like they've screwed up, then you can appeal it to the U.S. Supreme Court, because this is a federal case. Now, they rarely take these kinds of cases unless there's a significant legal issue involved. So usually everybody stops at the Court of Appeals at the 11th Circuit. So the only courts above her would be the Court of Appeals. So she doesn't have like a judge boss that's in charge of her at the trial level. So at this level, there isn't someone above her that can come in and kind of check her. The only way for her to really be checked is through the Court of Appeals. So that's the only process to kind of keep her in line. So that's a great question, and a lot of people have asked, but how the court system works is a little bit different. We have a hierarchy of judges, but they're not in charge of each other. We don't have like a chief Supreme Court justice, a judge boss. So at SCOTUS, we have a chief justice who kind of runs the docket and runs, who's going to write the opinions and so on. But we do not have that same situation at the trial court level. We have a little bit different when it comes to the Court of Appeals, but the trial court level, everyone is equal laterally. So just to kind of clarify that for everyone. But that's a great, great question. We will see what happens with her. I'm not sure exactly how things are going to go, but she's kind of, I think she's struggling, but we'll see. 11th Circuit. Yep. That's really going to be the key to it. So that is the update then out of Florida, everybody. We will have to find out if the press refiles what will happen there. We shall see. All right, now the last case here that I will review is the Georgia case. We've got lots of things actually going on in Georgia. We had 4. I'm going to show the chart, everybody, okay? So don't get jump scared. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. I'm happy to explain it. All right, here comes the chart. Don't be scared, okay? Here it is. Oh, my gosh. So here's the chart, everybody. I know it's too early. I know. Oh my goodness. All right. So we have 4 of our 19 defendants who have pled guilty. I know, jump scare. I know. Oh my goodness. I know. So we've got Mr. Hall was first, then we had Miss Powell, Cheesebro then, and then Miss Ellis. Now, we are having, at this point, cases sealed. So I know Cheesebro's files have all been sealed. You can still find them online, and I definitely have copies of everything because, of course, I do. But in case you're looking for these, you may struggle to find them a little bit. They all did get probation. We have a felony here. We have a misdemeanor, and another felony, I believe, is how these pled out. So No, we don't have a guilty plea on Meadows. So here's the update on Meadows. Meadows is still going. Meadows has no official agreement with Fani at this point. He is actually on the schedule at this point. So let me oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We have here we have the brief hold on just a second. Let me move this around. So we've got oral arguments in the 11th Circuit here due for Meadows regarding his removal. So we have briefs due on the 3rd. So on Friday, his brief is due, and then oral arguments are set. So with Mr. Meadows, he is still trying to get his case in Georgia removed to federal court. He has been denied, and he is appealing the denial. So this is still ongoing. He's still part of this indictment. He's still in the game. Now, I don't know if he's been talking with Fani or if the reason he's continuing to push to get this to federal court is because of his agreement with Jack. I just don't know at this point. But he is still on the docket. He is still involved in this case, and no agreements have been made. We still have briefs due and oral arguments regarding moving to federal court. I highly doubt he would win that argument, but it's still on the docket. You don't think he'll flip all the way? You may be right. You may be right. We will see. We will see. But he's still scheduled in the Court of Appeals to argue the case and to have briefs due. So he's still good. He's still in the running. Yeah, we don't have him. He's not a flipper yet. Oh, that's so funny. Yes, no, they have pled guilty. That was their agreement. They pled guilty. They said, I am guilty, and accepted the terms of the plea agreement. So if you plead guilty, I'm putting a guilty on your head. So we do have 4 at this point. Now, rumor has it there are lots of other people who have been in talks. And the key to the Georgia case is to get count 1 off of your indictment. So for all of the rest of them, they're going to want to plead it so that the RICO charge is dismissed. That's the only way to get out of the mandatory minimum prison. So the blue triangles are the lawyers. So we've got Cheesebro here as a lawyer, Powell, Ellis, Smith is a local attorney. By the way, we have a couple of hearings coming up for a few of them. Giuliani, Eastman, Sheely, and then Clark. So that's what the triangles are. Now, for our schedule here, we still have some things being set. On Thursday, Trump, Smith, Cheely, and Schaefer all have a hearing on the demurs and motions to quash. So let me show you again who we have. So we have Smith, we have Trump, we have Cheely, and we have Schaefer. So these 4 on Thursday have a hearing on motions for demurs. Now the demur was also what was done for Cheesebro and Powell, where they tried to get pieces of the indictment tossed so essentially it's like a motion to dismiss. That hearing for these 4, though, will be on Thursday coming up this week on the 1st. So that will be another interesting. That should be televised. So once I will probably go live as soon as I see that it's up and running. So if there are hearings in Georgia that are going, I will probably pop on at least once or twice and go through that hearing and explain things. So that is set for Thursday. So I am planning to go live. I don't know what time exactly. We will have to see. I've noticed most of them have started in the morning. So, approximately 9 or 10 has been it. Sorry, Wednesday. Is that Wednesday? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wednesday, everybody. Sorry about that. Wednesday. All right. So that'll be Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Yep. Everybody, I try to keep everything straight, but sometimes the simplest things escape me, like what day of the week it is. Oh my goodness. So bear with me. Bear with me. All right. So that hearing's coming up Wednesday, and I should be going live to talk through that hearing with everybody. Now, apparently, Minnesota's got their 14th Amendment oral arguments going on Thursday. Very interesting. And then we have motions to quash again in the Floyd defendant case. So that's set for Friday. Now, this is Mr. Floyd here. There are multiple motions that he has filed. So his are set for hearing on Friday. So we have a Wednesday hearing set for Schaefer, Cheeley, Smith, and Trump. And then we have a Friday hearing set for Floyd. So that's set for Georgia. That's the update then for what's happening in Georgia. We are also waiting to see when he's, oh, great. Thank you, Steffi. I'm waiting to see when they will be setting different hearings for the rest of discovery and so on. Because we have these motions for demurs, which are like a motion to dismiss, essentially, is what's going on here. That's probably the easiest way to explain it. Here, after these hearings, we'll probably get a date set for the rest of the discovery motions, the rest of what's happening here, and even a potential trial date set, or if the judge is going to try to split the defendants into different packs. So we'll see how that goes. Are you posting next week's live schedule on your page? I will be. Yes, I will. So I don't have a schedule actually listed here to show you at this moment, but I will be actually posting a video of my live schedule, and that will be posted today here in just a little bit after this live. And so you can just kind of check the favorite it so you can keep that in your mind of what the schedule will look like. So that will be for all the lives. Oh, absolutely. I love coming on here and talking about these cases with everybody. I think it's very fun for me. I really enjoy it. So I'm happy to come on. It's just a matter of making sure that everyone knows when I'll be here. Really appreciate you. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. No, I'll be here. I'll be here for sure. So that then is the update, just to keep everybody on notice for what's happening in Georgia. The other cases that we have the second Carroll case for damages that goes to trial just for the damages portions on the 15th of January. So that's the last of the big cases that are going on right now. So you're good at, oh, thanks. Your breakdowns are deeply appreciated. Well, I'm hoping that they're helpful, everybody. I really, it's been really frustrating for me to watch how, not necessarily that there's anything wrong with the media, but just how it's not necessarily in a way to really easily understand what's going on legally. And I'm not blaming anybody for it, but it's frustrating. So I thought, if I could come on and explain things a little bit easier for people, that it would be helpful. So I'm just very glad that everybody finds it useful. That's really just my whole goal, is just to make it so it's not so overwhelming, because I think the more overwhelming it is, the more stressful it is. So, oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet, Steffi. So thank you very much. Thank you. I will be putting together then my live schedule, and I will be posting that here shortly. But just to give you an idea for the next couple of days, I will be coming back on again tonight at my regular time. So 7 p.m. That will be my regular time for all of my lives, is 7 p.m. Central. So I do plan to go each night. Now, what the topic is, I will give a rough idea, but if something happens that's kind of a breaking situation or brand new for that day, then I'll go over that. I'm planning to really, especially for the testimony out of the New York civil case, I will be covering a lot of that. But when there's a hearing here in Georgia on Wednesday and Friday, I will go live during that hearing time. So that will kind of be a double live day. So that's really the schedule that I'm looking at. So 7 p.m. Central each night. And then if there's a hearing, I'll go in the morning. And then on Wednesdays also, I have my special sub-only chats. and those will be after the evening live. So that's kind of my special thank you time for anyone who's subscribing. You certainly don't need to, but if you do, I have those extra special ones. So 7 p.m. Central will be the best time. I think I will start I think this 11 o'clock time on the weekends is working out really well for me. So I think I'll probably double up on the weekends too. Again, and look in my stories. If I need to cancel, I will post it in my stories. So if you're wondering when I will be going. So 7 o'clock Central Time. Yes, 7 o'clock. And then, of course, everything will be up on YouTube as quickly as I can get it up on YouTube as fast as I can. But I will be 7 o'clock for each day here. If I've got special events coming up, I will post about it. So just kind of keep an eye out on that. But really, I will put in my stories when exactly, if I need to cancel, but I'll actually post a full post on when the next event will be if it needs to change. So yes. So thank you, everybody. Yes, thank you for coming. That is the update then. That's what I have for you at this point. Now, tonight, I am planning to go live because I am just determined to get through the Menendez indictment. I am just determined to do it, everybody. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Oh my gosh. You should do a live on YouTube at the same time as TikTok. You know, Vicky, that's a great idea. I was having some problems with people getting bumped. So my YouTube lives were not quite going as smoothly as I wanted. That's why I kind of made sure to come back to TikTok. But I'm kind of working on it at this point. I'd like to get that sorted out, but still working on it. I'm, not so good at all of this stuff. I'm trying to get my tech knowledge up, but we'll see. Right now, my number one is to be able to do a split screen when I have a guest. So I'm learning that right now. Yes, YouTube has had some problems for sure. So I will be 7 o'clock Central each night, everybody, and the topic will depend on what's going on, but I will post up my schedule. And if there's a hearing again in Georgia, which it's scheduled for Wednesday and Friday, and if those go, I will be coming on live during those hearings. So you need to hire a teenager to help with all your tech. Oh my gosh, I do. I do. Absolutely. So have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody. I'll be back again tonight at 7. We'll go through the Menendez indictment. I am just determined to make it through that indictment tonight. So I will, absolutely. And I will have some more posts coming up on YouTube. They'll be much more frequent, even though that's kind of frowned upon on YouTube, but I'm trying to get all caught up. But have a wonderful rest of the day, everybody. Thanks for coming by. I will be back again, 7 o'clock. Thank you, moderators, for your time and efforts. Of course, any of my moderators are also invited to the sub-only chats on Wednesdays as well. So take care, everybody. Have a fantastic day. I'll be back again at 7 tonight. Thank you all for joining. See you later. Bye.